Okay, my fellow Americans, I want to know what you're doing right now. Hello. Today's date is Thursday, September 14th, 2017, and my name is Leslie Williams. I live in La Jolla, California, which is located in San Diego County. I am a target victim and activist concerning the continued criminal expeditions of what is known as gang stalking. And my fellow American citizens, you just would not believe what I know. Literally, do not mistake my comical posture, because I'm a teeny bit video shy. Do not mistake my comical moments, okay? Uh, in other words, just because I act a little silly once in a while, my videos momentarily within them, uh, 99.999% of all my videos are very serious videos. They're extremely informative, very educational, and I cannot say it in the strongest. There's no language on this planet that can literally be any stronger in reference to the follow-up statement. I strongly suggest that you go into this Periscope account and research every single video that you can. Make sure you follow all instructions in reference to what's exposed by descriptions and any incorporated links within the titles of those Periscope videos. Okay, so what I incorporated in the title of this particular Periscope video was a tweet URL link. And that tweet URL link can be written down and then typed in at your URL address bar in order to bring the information that is encompassed within it up. As a result, you'll be able to see the one particular one that I decided to incorporate within the title of this particular video is should absolutely keep your attention pertaining to what's being exposed. Now, also understand, though, absolutely, that tweet is part of an extremely long tweet chain, which is actually that whole entire tweet chain, which is about 400 tweets, okay? That tweet chain, okay, is literally incorporated within the pinned tweet of my Twitter account. And that is a long tweet chain as well. Now, you might think to yourself, well, I got a life to live, I got stuff to do, I got to go to work, I got to go to the store, I got to take time with my family and my kids and vacations and whatever. Okay. What I'm saying to you, my fellow American citizens, it cannot be said with any stronger language. It's obvious that no human being, unless they're unemployed or rich, okay, has the time to research the depth of what's incorporated within my tweet link. Of course not, because it takes time, especially when it comes to these subject matters, because these subject matters, okay, really demand your attention and your time. So, but make no mistake about it, if you just research, okay, one thing, okay, if you just take 2 hours a day, an hour a day, even just a half hour a day, okay, and start scrutinizing what I have incorporated within this Periscope account, I guarantee it, I literally guarantee it, you will be glad you did. See, because whistleblowers like me, and there are tens of thousands of us all over the internet exposing what we know concerning these extreme, horrific criminal realities, we spend whatever available money that we have, okay, we spend our time, okay, we spend so much mental anguish and mental expediency. It is literally on our mind at least half of our day, okay? Because the other half is spent doing things we need to do in order to survive, and obviously sleep. But what I'm trying to say is that this crime is so huge, and it is so horrific, and it is so heinous, and it is every bit of it is protected. Once we become educated, experienced, seasoned target individuals in reference to the because this crime is not just massive, okay, and horrific and horrendous, but it reaches into so many levels of government. It reaches into so many organized crime motivations. It reaches into so many different projects. Okay, this crime is connected to hundreds of criminal motivations. It's connected to hundreds and hundreds of research groups, universities, and so on. It's connected to multiple government agencies. I mean, this crime is this massive. It's probably the biggest crime that's going on in America. And so the only thing that I can do is tell you, see, when individuals become a victim of this crime, because this is not, when you're just a regular average crime victim, you might like experience a home robbery or a robbery out on the street, or you might be assaulted by some idiot on the subway or on the trolley or at a store or in a parking lot. That's one crime that happens for one small period of time, usually. Okay. And, of course, you'll be dealing with the effects of it. I'm not trying to minimize crime victims and their experiences at all. You'll understand in a minute. See, when you're a victim of a crime, okay, that crime usually stops. Yes, you will have effects and results from it. Of course you will. And those are, very extremely unfortunate as well. Make no mistake about it. With gang stalking is a crime that happens every day, psychologically, emotionally, okay, physiologically, okay, biologically, financially, and it wrecks every area of your life because it's a crime that's intended to do it. And it goes on every day, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade. Literally. This is the main crime that is exposed on the internet. Now, if you've never heard of gang stalking, which can also be called organized stalking, okay, you might think to yourself, well, how could this be the biggest main crime being exposed online and you don't know about it? Well, you don't know about it because you didn't have a name in order to be able to research it. For instance, when you go to Google and YouTube and you type in a subject matter, like whenever you turn on your computer, okay, and your Google comes up and your YouTube channel comes up, and I don't use Facebook, but if you use Facebook or whatever, I think once we start utilizing the computer on a somewhat daily basis at least, we start to realize that Google and even YouTube, pertaining to your subscribers and stuff, will start generating back to you advertisements from your previous searches. Like, let me give you an example. If you go on to Google and you type in a certain name of a fruit, and you look at it because you're looking up for a recipe, or you type in, let's just say, recipes, you're looking up for a recipe, and then it might be your hobby to be you like to cook, and so every day you're looking up recipes for a month. You're going to start noticing that Google is going to start automatically bringing up and featuring certain ads pertaining to recipes, home cooking, even cookware and stuff like that, and YouTube will do the same. I'm making a point here, just bear with me for a second, okay? Now, the reason why I'm stating this is because when, let's say if this was your situation, when you turn on your computer and you automatically come up to Google, okay, you're more than likely to initially see things that are in reference to subject matters that you've already typed in, right? Okay. Now, that's if once you sign into your account, okay? So the point I'm trying to say is that unless you've ever heard of organized stalking or gang stalking, you've never typed that in a Google search box, right? Now, so it's like 99.89999% chance that you are never going to come across the term gang stalking and or organized stalking unless, okay, you know about the crime itself and type it in at Google and YouTube search box. Now, the only other time out of that remaining 1.111%, okay, out of 100%, the only other time that you're going to stumble across this crime in reference to it being exposed is when the local news will cover it, and when they do, it's usually marginally. Hold on. Okay. So how can a crime be because you know how big the internet is. The internet's worldwide. So how can a crime be the biggest crime exposed on the internet and you not know about it? Because of the way the internet operates and because of the mainstream media is completely controlled and absolutely corrupt. Okay? The majority of it is. Okay? Absolutely. So even when they cover this crime, it's going to be marginally. And even at times I've seen them, through clever and creative ways, attempt to discredit the testimony of specific targets of this crime as well. Absolutely, because it's organized crime in the system at the federal, state, and local level. So if you honestly do not know yet that the system has measures of control over what gets put on the news or not, then you're not completely awake yet. And I'm not trying to be direct with you. I'm just making a statement. You can research about how 6 major corporations own the entire media of this country, including all affiliates, and they are controlled. Make no mistake about it. So, my fellow American citizens, I strongly suggest, I experienced this crime once it started happening towards me openly. Okay, I was already experiencing this crime going all the way back to at least, I'm going to say in reference to this video, I'm not going to say if it was going on before the date I'm about to expose or not. Okay, because targets sometimes had to be very careful about what they state, because any statement that I put out there online can be utilized against me by the insane, criminally demented animals in court in order to use it against you, to call you crazy, to contain you, and to exploit you in an isolated environment like a group home or a jail or an institution in order to stop the exposure by trying to claim you're crazy. You understand? And that's literally a method of this crime, which can be Googled. Okay, so let's just say 1985, 86. Okay, now you can be a victim of this crime without the open community harassment that's attached to gang stalking crimes. Okay, you can be a victim of this crime without the gang stalking and experience all of the biological neural weapons that are out there that are being reported all over the internet, Twitter, YouTube, Google, Facebook, you name it, by tens of thousands of people all over America. Okay. So you can be a victim of the gang stalking crime itself without the community-based harassment which is attached to the gang stalking crime. Okay. You can experience all the neurological and biological weapons being used against you without the community-based harassment. Okay, absolutely. You can be subject to gang stalking community-based harassment without the neurological, technological, biological manipulation and harassment. Okay, even though that's extremely rare. So your life can be completely infiltrated at the social level: churches, charities, self-help groups, school. Okay, even family infiltration can be incorporated against you concerning this crime. Google that. Okay. So, this is a very intrusive crime. The entire crime is completely protected by the government at every level. Okay, and the police. Okay, so you can be a victim of this crime and not even be aware yet that you're a victim of it for a decade or more at a time. Absolutely, absolutely. I've seen it on the internet, exposed by hundreds of the thousands of gang stalking victims. If I was able to, okay, which I know you would not even be able to do, if I was able to research the testimony of every single gang stalking victim in America, I guarantee you at least 70 to 80 to 85% would have almost identical to a T stories. Because gang stalking operates on a template of methods, tactics, maneuvers, techniques, okay, and psychological operations. So the reason why I brought all that up is because you can be a victim of this crime for a long time without even knowing that what's happening to you is gang stalking. So how would you be able to go to the internet and type in gang stalking to be able to research it so you could extract the information from the research, and as a result then you would be able to make informed decisions to protect yourself, your loved ones, your friends, and your property, right? So what target individuals do after we become educated, seasoned, experienced target individuals, we start to realize through, and we're talking about years and years and years of most of the time non-stop, exhaustive, in-depth, massive research concerning this crime every day online. The testimony of other targets, alternative media coverage, mainstream media coverage, lawsuits, petitions, blogs, YouTube videos, Facebook pages, you name it, every day. We extract that information, we cross-reference it to our own experience, okay, and or lack of that, because certain things can be happening to one target that haven't happened to a specific target yet, okay? So we take that information and we start connecting the dots in reference to who's being massively implicated concerning perpetrating this crime covertly, okay? Who plays a role in protecting it, what their criminal motivations are, what they're involved in, how it works, and so on and so forth. And we start to think to ourselves, oh my God, this shit is, excuse my language please, this stuff is going on everywhere. It is literally going on in every single literal neighborhood in the United States. Okay. And it can be happening right under your nose, and you wouldn't even notice it. In all the natural environments that you go into in reference to the environments that human beings go into in order to function within society. As an example, grocery stores, coffee shops, libraries, universities, colleges, high schools. This shit's even going on in middle school. Okay, you name it. Any type of business that you can think of, it's going on in reference to the type of business it is, including business names. Google that. Think of 10 well-known businesses that are well-known practically to every American here in the United States. Think of 10 well-known businesses that you know of. Okay? And go to Google when you get done watching this or whenever you have time. And go to Google and type in the name of that business to gang stalk. 10 of them. Then go back to Google and type in the same 10 names to gang stalking to 5 separate states, like Michigan, Texas, California, New York, Florida. Okay. And look at what comes up. Okay. So then we should be able to start deducing that there's obviously something going on here if so many different people in so many different states are exposing how it's going on in universities, stores, businesses, libraries, okay, how none of it's getting prosecuted. You think that's an accident? Okay? So my fellow American citizens, I do what I do in reference to exposing these details so you can take what I state and research it per description, cross-reference the information that comes up from each description, synthesize it together, and you should at least come up with a preliminary or pictorial representation in your mind pertaining to what's going on and who's involved, so you can then make informed decisions to protect yourself, your family, your friends, your property, okay, and your communities. So, what I incorporated within the link, the tweet link that is incorporated within the title of the Periscope video, is some information from a website. Now, what you want to do is you also want to take a look at the snap screenshot. Now, the snap screenshot is a snap screenshot from information that is within the blog as well. So just bring up the blog and slowly dissect it. Anything you don't understand because of the terminology or what's being described, just keep moving forward and then go back to Google and type in the names that are being presented to you, the descriptions, how it can be connected to gang stalking, and then type those in at Google. Press enter, and then look at what comes up in reference to the testimony of targets and researchers pertaining to these descriptions, pertaining to what they're saying, pertaining to how these descriptions apply to them, pertaining to what's happening to them. Do you see what I'm saying? Just like basically when you have a friend or a relative who's been diagnosed with a specific type of cancer, you're gonna get your information from your doctor in reference to what you should do to try and get it in control, to treat it, to keep your health up, and so on and so forth. But you're also going to go home and you're going to type in the name of this cancer so you can see if there's any additional things you can do pertaining to your diet, pertaining to your sleep patterns, pertaining to stress, pertaining to anything that you may additionally be able to do, including alternative treatments, that you may be able to do in order to keep this cancer from spreading, to put it in remission, to keep it there, and so on. Same thing concerning gang stalking. What you want to do is you want to take the descriptions, all descriptions that you have a hard time seeing how these descriptions apply to what gang stalking victims are suffering. Okay. All you have to do is take each one of those specific descriptions that are giving you a hard time, and then just go to Google and type them into gang stalking. Okay, you can, look as an example, directed energy weapons, which are called DEWs for short, in gang stalking circles in reference to the exposure online. When you type in directed energy weapons and gang stalking, you can also type in directed energy weapons, gang stalking, and the effects, so you can see what kind of effects these weapons are having on human beings' biological systems. And therefore, you can see the torture that is involved concerning it. Do you understand? So, play around in your mind with the keywords pertaining to you if you want to really see how this is affecting people, pertaining to what's being perpetrated against them. Use specific keywords so you can say, okay, now I can see. Now, my fellow American citizens, this is happening. to hundreds. It's actually literally happening. It's extremely estimated right now that this crime is happening to at least 2.4 to 4.8 gang stalking victims in the United States. Okay, and this possibly does not encompass at all the amount of targeted individuals that are out there that don't know yet they're being targeted. Okay, so and you might think, well, that's a very low number. That's about 1-2% of the population. No, because that number, for one, is an old number from at least the last decade. Two, this crime is exploding, meaning that probably at least anywhere between 5 to 10,000 new victims are being added to this program at least every week. Okay, and then it's also all over the internet that the people who are harassing targets and doing things against targets are actually doing it in part also because they're going to end up being victims one day. So you can go to YouTube and you can type in Julian McKinney, Greg Szymanski, live leak broadcast. You'll clearly hear Julian McKinney flat out state that the ones who are currently harassing victims are the ones who are currently being neurally choreographed. Okay, that's got to do with remote neural monitoring. Okay, so my fellow American citizens, when you look at if one gang stalking victim is harassed by 3,000 people in 1 year, and all those 3,000 people are being targeted in the ways that ex-CIA scientist Dr. Robert Duncan and Julian McKinney have exposed, okay, if that is the case, if they're being sucked into this program as well, why could all this be occurring? Is this about, but not limited to, an extreme, massive, covert brain mapping initiative, which has also been exposed on national radio shows, including ones I've been on. So you can go to my blog, which has most of the radio show links that I have been on. Okay, you can go to my blog and click and listen to all those shows. Okay, pertaining to the ones that I did incorporate within my blogs. And my blog is attached to my Twitter account, which is it's attached to the profile of my Twitter account. So you'll know what Twitter account that is by typing in the URL characters that are dedicated and pasted and incorporated within the title of this Periscope video. And when you see what's in that blog, trust me, it's massive. Okay, now I suggest when you go to that blog, the first thing you want to do, excuse me please, is ignore everything until, hold on, sorry, excuse me, until you get to the links. Okay, so you want to be looking at least for 5 shows, okay, of the other, and that's not all the shows I've been on, but 5 shows until you see the 9/17/2013, the 05/01/2013, the 09/01/2015, the 02/04/2014, and there's another one concerning, but the other 2 that I'm thinking about right now don't really matter. And then there's another couple other ones as well. Now, so you want to at least listen to all those shows and all the information that introduces those shows within the blog. And that way you can understand why those radio shows and the information exposed within them, including what I state on them, okay, is so important for you to understand. The blog will introduce to you why the shows are being incorporated. The shows will then help you see the information that introduces me being on the shows. It's very important. Then go into and research everything else that is in that blog, not just the evidence concerning me being gang stalked, through harassment and staged arrests and tickets like that. But you also want to look at the other YouTube videos that expose the neural crimes that are happening to gang stalking victims, that meaning neurological crimes and biological crimes. You better do what I tell you to do, because my fellow American citizens, this cannot be stressed to you any more clearly. This technology is being exposed online as it being concerning it being in all schools, okay, in your home wiring, through but not limited to smart meters. And you can also go to Google and type in Lily Waves mind control and gang stalking. Just do it. In home wiring. Just do it. Just trust me on this, please. What do you got to lose? Just do it. Okay? So, begin there, and you will start to begin to see truth. I gotta go. I got stuff to do for the rest of the day. This was only going to be a little small prediction video, and it turned out to be another video. So anyways, please, you ain't got nothing to lose, man, except for maybe an hour or 2. But I guarantee if you start researching what is incorporated within the tweet link in the title of this Periscope video, but also remember that is one tweet of hundreds that are attached above it, and there's a few attached below it. They're all attached together. So scroll and look at all the information that is incorporated within that tweet chain. And I guarantee you, I literally guarantee you, you will be glad you did. Literally, it can't be said any clearer. Literally. All right, I gotta go. God bless you all. Stay safe. Okay. God bless America. Everybody stay strong. Stay true. And I guess I'll see you either maybe tonight or later on tomorrow, or sometime tomorrow morning.